when we're walking outside, we'll check the dates of the items to make sure that they're still good as the sell-by date, and to make sure that everything's printing on the label. It should have the store address and it should have net weight.
What happens if it doesn't have the price or the weight?
If it doesn't have the net weight, or if the net weight doesn't match the actual weight of the product, well, we can be issued a citation from the Department of Weight and Measures because we're charging the customers for more than what we're giving them. Something, they don't have the date on it. The bakery's supposed to package these with a sticker for the expiration date.
Okay.
So they don't have it. It would be important to make sure that they connect with the department manager or the assistant department manager to have a plan in place. We typically see that when we walk into the department, everybody scrambles to move things. But if we're planning accordingly and have a game plan for the shift, we won't need to run and change the sanitizers or move items or try to clean up. Planning for your shift will ensure that all of the important items are completed when anybody walks into the department. Nobody needs to run. That tends to be the most common things that we find is personal items stored where they shouldn't be, and everybody refreshing their sanitizer buckets. The buckets should be changed every 4 hours. So if they come in and if the bakery starts at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, they should set them up when they first get here and every 4 hours from there. So there's no need to have to rush to change them because most likely they're the right concentration if they put them out in the beginning. So this is somebody's food. They shouldn't be here. And then we also shouldn't have items on the floor. Really labeled and that they're not stored above packaging. The risk here is if it's leaking, those are containers that food is going to go on, so somebody can get sick from consuming it. Also, this is not approved to be in the department.
Chemical.
What happens here is that we don't have it documented that we use this in the department. So if somebody has an allergic reaction to it, or if it ends up in somebody's food, we would never think to look for this. These cakes, they have more cakes out than they'll be able to work at one time. So these are tres leches cakes. So the temperature is changing on these cakes. And the longer they stay out of temperature, the faster they're going to. Typically use scissors in a department. If you can see, these scissors are not easy to clean. You can see where there's buildup of debris. So shouldn't be in use in the department. This knife isn't approved for the bakery. Somebody brought this from somewhere. And if you can see, it's scratching. So all of this is ending up somewhere. It can be in the product that they're cutting. This shouldn't be here. It's also not safe to leave it on the table. The towel as well. The towels should be in sanitizer when they're not in use. You shouldn't see towels out unless they're dry and clean because this is just harboring bacteria. And then you're going to wipe down the table and spread the bacteria throughout the table. Product shouldn't be on the floor. It's required to be on shelving. So all of these have product in it.
What's the requirement of inches that it should be above the floor?
All the items should be at least 6 inches off the floor. So this, we don't know what it is, right? If you have a new employee and they're not trained on what items to use, what if they think this is oil and spray it in a pan? Thinking that it's oil for the cake pans, or they might not know what it is and not use it safely. For this area, we look for a couple things. So one of the things that is most obvious right now is that the stove is cut. So this is a connect system. With this being cut open, it doesn't create the suction, so it's not going to pull the soap properly. Okay. So the concentration mix is not going to be correct. Not having hot water in the department is a closable offense. It's really important that we're making sure that we're meeting the minimum temperatures. So we're going to go ahead and check the water here. So the minimum requirement is for it to reach 120 degrees within 60 seconds. So here we already hit more than that, so we're fine. So this water is nice and hot. Typically washing dishes, this area does not need to be set up. But when they're washing dishes, this area needs to be 110 degrees, the soapy water. This can be empty because this is a rinsing station, and then we need to have our sanitizer set up. One of the items that's missing here is the sanitizer test strips. Since this needs to be filled up with sanitizer, we don't have a way to measure if the concentration is correct. So in here, this is where the pouring is clean dishes, right? But when you see things that are clean, they shouldn't have stickers. They should also be stored in a way that they're going to be able to dry properly. Put them back. The dishwashing area is a common area where we see chemicals that we shouldn't have in use in the department. So here we have some chemicals that are unlabeled, unapproved chemicals, and unapproved cleaning items. If you look at the sponge comes like this, but then they end up like this. Mm-hmm. So these break off, they can end up in pan dulce, and we don't want a customer or even an employee to end up eating it. So these are not approved in the departments for cleaning. And cleaning procedures, you should be taking some time to stop every 4 hours and clean up. And then you can see the drains. The drains start holding water and it starts building up algae in it. So the drain should be clean. And since we also see some structural issues here, these types of environments tend to cause pest activity. It's a nice hiding spot for pests. So you look at this drain as well, you can see it just needs some extra detail cleaning. Our bread case, so when you're walking by, you want to make sure that there's tongs available, there's bags available for the customers. It's also good to make sure that the lids are closed, and during fly season, you want to make sure there's no flies that get trapped in, because our customers come and while they're picking their bread, this stays open.
Okay.
The tongs shouldn't stay inside for the same reason as we don't want scoops to stay inside the buckets. You don't want it to touch the product. The same with the bread cake. We should have everything should be in place. The light should be working. The door should be closed. We should have bags available for our customers. So they shouldn't be here. These should be stored here inside where they're protected from flies and different things as well. Talking about the bread case, you should look at the quality of the bread and make sure that nothing has mold on it. Make sure that nothing's leaking or doesn't look like it's in bad condition. These tend to get small flies in them as well, so you want to make sure that there's not little flies crawling on them. You should also just take a look at the trays as you're walking by to make sure they're not cracked or damaged, so that pieces of plastic don't end up inside of the bread. You want to make sure that there's nothing inside besides bread, and that the tongs are stored properly. The tongs should be changed every 4 hours. We get crumbs, so these should be cleaned daily. Right? It looks like it's fresh crumbs.